victory. This is an invitation to the big dance at Old Trafford next weekend, and one of these two will not be going. And which rugby league legend's career will come to an end tonight, Tompkins or Roby? So many subplots to this game in Perpignan, where the smoke swirls around Stade Gilbert Brutus. The pitch has recovered from its recent traumas. You can still see some of the blemishes on it. What a wonderful atmosphere in Perpignan. Chris Kendall is the referee, about to get us underway. Even the most seasoned campaigner, Barry, must have the hair standing up on the back of his neck.
This is phenomenal, isn't it? When you think about atmospheres, when you think about a build-up to a match, this is as good as it gets. It's going to be a nail-biter. It's going to be a nerve shredder, and the opening 10-15 minutes are vital.
That first hit of the game on Siwa Takiaho may be setting the tone for this confrontation, because these are two sides who will not take a step back. Two packs that will go at it, hammer and tongs. The only significant absentee tonight for the Saints is James Batchelor. They will be missing him. Louis McCarthy Scarsbrook starting in the Saints front row tonight. Alex Wormsley coming off the bench. The kick first for Benison to deal with. No Conrad Horrell for the Saints. Benison keeping his place.
And the first round of boos, Benison, a young man, obviously vastly experienced at this early stage of his career, but he will not have been in a Cauldron-like atmosphere as he is experiencing here. Two interesting selections, LNS for St Helens and Takiaho, both probably more suitable to the bench, but both coaches have decided they want to start big.
Well, that has been the secret of their success this season. Meakin and Morgan Knowles tangle. An ooh from the crowd as another big hit goes on in on Matty Lees. And a kick fielded comfortably by Catalan. Here is Tom Johnston.
Back five, and the momentum they will create is very important for the home side. Tom Davis, Kieran, Ikavalu, Tom Johnson, who took that first carry. They'll want to start that momentum and get some valuable territory downfield.
Talk about seasoned campaigners. Michael McAlorum there in 9 for the Catalan Dragons is another of them. He's going round again. He's 35 years old. Signed on for another season in France. McAlorum, and he is a ferocious competitor.
Nice short side play from Catalan. Michael McAlorum choosing to go to the skinny side, and valuable meters gained again.
The kick is cunningly placed, and Wellesby comes across to claim it. Bounces off the first couple of challenges. Tompkins there eventually to bring him down.
What about this atmosphere? What about it? The scenes before the game, the noise, and you can feel it coming through the TV, can't you? Well, St Helens, they'll want to quieten that crowd down, and the Catalan Dragons side will feed off it.
Roby, that's a sluggish play the ball for Saints, and the knock-on by Matty Lees.
Well, the first point of the physicality chart goes to the home side. Matty Lees notoriously runs a hard line, runs with intent, and invites contact.
He looks imploringly at the referee, seeking some sort of sympathy, but that was a straightforward loss of control as he hit the ground there. And Catalan take possession in a handy position. 4 minutes gone. Chris Kendall just asking for a a second go at that scrum. So Saints with some defending to do. Kieran plays the ball. Two tackles gone.
Don't go early.
Lomax with the tackle. They're giving it some width, the Catalan Dragons. Cavallo weaving his way through and almost finding a gap. The Catalan crowd lifting. Tyrone May. Whitley looking for somebody. He could have got that ball to Johnston. There was an opportunity there, but Saints managed to scramble across. They're looking for a set restart. Here's May. Change of direction once, then twice.
Surrender. Stand. Mate, go fine, surrender.
McAlorum. Here is Tyrone May. May, the ball fortunate to reach Tom Johnston, puts the kick in, and it's well dealt with at the back at Lewis Dodd.
Not really threatening the line of St Helens, but what they are doing is testing the nerves. Tyrone May, the number 6 for Catalan Dragons, plays on the left side, loves a long ball. If you were an outside back playing for St Helens on the right, you'd fancy your chances getting an interception, but get it wrong and it's a try.
Well, Saints withstanding that first assault on their defence. It's Curtis Sirenen. Lomax, ever present this season. As is this man, Wellesby, launches the kick straight down the middle of the field where Tom Davis gathers it.
Tom Davis, of course, a meter eater if ever there is one. He's no slouch when it comes to finishing those opportunities, but brave and courageous, as is Tom Johnston.
Yeah, they've got some attacking force on the wings of the Catalan Dragons. Tom Johnston with his 27 tries in this Super League season, equal top.
Go free. Gotta get back, James Roby.
Fuad Yaha not able to get in the Catalan side.
Well, Takiaho, the number 22, who's promoted to the starting lineup, he was an integral part over on the right side when the Catalan Dragons had a little stab at the line, so he's got good ball movement, the big front rower.
It's an interesting season, Sia Takiaho, because he's really hardly featured. This is only his second start for the club, and he's leaving at the end of this campaign. His contract cut short on compassionate grounds, so he's looking to end at least with a big performance, or a big couple of performances potentially. Here is Tommy Makinson. Tamar Boskenko watching from the sideline, looking to see who'll be first to crack in this semi-final. A place at Old Trafford awaiting the winners. Saints looking to make it 5 in a row. Lee's protesting he might have got a smack on the side of the head there.
Perfect positioning from Sam Tompkins on those old bones, old legs, old knees. Just simply hand the ball over. Not much of a running threat in terms of returning kicks, but his intellect and his speed of thought is why he's in the side.
Now Saints looking to force the error from Catalan deep in their own half. There's a good turnout of Saints supporters. All credit to the 800 or so who've made the journey. All sorts of routes have been taken. Trains, planes, automobiles. Meekin, Tyrone May, on it comes to Kieran. Kieran back on the inside, and Whitley couldn't take it, and Saints will counter now.
Straight on the attack. There's that long ball that we mentioned. Tyrone May found a player in space, and then St Helens had enough scramble defence to first of all prevent Catalan from capitalising, and secondly get hold of the ball when it was loose.
Mickey, you're off, Mickey! You're good now!
Louis McCarthy, Scarsbrook. Another one who's hanging up his boots at the end of the season and doesn't want that to be tonight is Lomax. Will Hopewati. Ikevalu with the tackle on him, Pearce in there as well. Lomax across the field, but solid defence provided by McAlorum on Lou McCarthy's Scarsbrook. Slow to get to his feet, LMS. Dodds on the pass, sails out. Matautia not able to find Benison.
Loose pass from Matautia. Benison looked at his second rower. It's nice pressure from the inside from Michael McAlorum. It rushes Morgan Knowles into that pass, and it always felt a little bit hurried from that point on. Inside pressure, whenever you're close to your own line. We've talked about the line speed of St Helens, and of course that looks impressive and there's some physicality and some collision. But what it does is it forces Catalan Dragons in this case to kick from deep. So constantly kicking from deep, unable to get some pressure with the ball near their opponent's line, just feeds into the hands of St Helens.
Catalan supporters urging referee Chris Kendall to give their side a penalty. Instead he gives Saints possession because of a mistake there from the Catalan Dragons.
Line speed and intensity in defence. There's a mistake there from the ever dependable. We've talked about Mr. Dependable in James Roby. He controls the pace and the tempo of a game, while Michael McAlorum controls the aggression levels. He looks composed, Michael McAlorum. He knows what he's doing, but if he makes a mistake, he'll try and make up for that. The coaching staff from St Helens.
Laurent Freysineau back on familiar territory, of course. Having coached the Catalan Dragons, now assistant to Paul Wellens at St Helens, and finding himself urging the Saints on in these opening minutes of this semi-final in Perpignan. The Saints looking to capitalise on that uncharacteristic error from the former Wigan man. Here is Wellesby trying to weave his way through. 3 tackles gone. Lomax. 4 tackles gone as Knowles is brought down. Firing the pass out, and Lomax is immediately cut down. Good work by Ikevalu there. On the last, and the kick is a teasing one into the corner. And it's knocked on by St Helens. Sighs of relief there from Catalan Dragons. The Saints went up highest for that ball.
Sighs of relief, but also I think they'll gain some confidence. Ikevalu, Matt Whitley on the previous occasion getting out, snatching the player that they anticipate will receive the ball from St Helens. And the kick gets fumbled ultimately, and yet again the Catalan Dragons start to set virtually on their own line.
That's where Saints are intending to keep them, keep the pressure on them, making them work for every yard of this pitch.
You can see just as they come away from their own line, passes get a little bit wider, and they love a short side.
Oh dear me,
that's a dreadful pass from Kieran. He's a better player than that. He's trying to catch and pass. At the same time, the Catalan Dragons centre, another short side player. Catalan will utilise that whenever they feel they've got superior numbers. Tommy Makinson, with that defensive intensity, doesn't allow any control of that ball.
Another Catalan error then. Steve McNamara will be seething, because the last side you want to be conceding possession to well inside your own half. They're the champions.
It's been a real feature for Saints. They haven't been as slick as they'd like. When they've had possession, they've left chances. In big games, you have to take those chances. But likewise, in big games, you can't hand opportunities and therefore chances to your opposition.
Step back! Matt, step back!
Lou McCarthy, Scarsbrook playing the ball, and Lees has gone without that, and Whitley pounces to pick it up for the Catalan Dragons. It's not just Catalan who are coming up with the errors.
No, I think forced mistakes by the Dragons, by the intensity in defence of Saints. But again, Saints just aren't quite there. They're not clinical, they're not slick. They'd want to be a little bit better in their execution.
The noise, absolutely astounding in Gilbert Brutus, and the first penalty of the game goes the Catalan Dragons' way as Saints are caught offside.
My word, the Dragons needed that, didn't they? We've looked to our right virtually for the entire 14 minutes of this game. They'll get a chance to construct something now, either build some pressure or let the ball go through those key players, Tyrone May, Mitchell Pearce.
It's second versus third on the Super League table, the way the regular season finished. Points difference just separating these two sides when it came down to it. So not a lot between them going into this contest with Old Trafford at stake. Here is Tyrone May. May, change of direction from him. Takiaho swats aside the first challenge. Pearce at the bottom of your screen there, just barking out instructions. Another player who's hanging up his boots. Little rubber kick comes in, and it's bundled over the dead ball line by Lewis Dodd before Catalan could capitalise.
Well, that's super play from the Dragons, realising it's virtually impossible in the early stages to get over that line. Tyrone May, we've mentioned him numerous times over on the left-hand side. He pops up on the right. We talk about building pressure, repeat sets. It all adds to the fatigue factor of the team in blue.
First of the game, and none of this short restart nonsense from St Helens. Get it up to the halfway line. Is Takiaho. If he can turn in a couple of big performances before he heads back to the NRL.
Matt Percival came from 3 defenders out to put a shot on McMeekin.
There is Sam Tompkins, Tyrone May now, Kieran, scorer of a hat-trick last time on home turf. May, Tompkins, back into the middle of the field to Garcia, almost finding a way through. Lomax down low with the tackle. Makilorum, short pass from Makilorum, and that's good defence, stopping Takiaho in his tracks. Catalan pressing for the first points of this game. Is May once more, takes the tackle, shrugs it away to Pearce. Pearce puts a little kick in, and it's Johnston who is going to claim the try. Trying to pounce on the loose ball. Saints unable to deal with it in the gloom of that corner. But did Tom Johnston manage to get a hand to the ball? No try, says Chris Kendall. Jack Smith is his referee, is his video ref. That was a real schmozzle there. Hard to see in the murkiness of the corner there.
First of all, credit the skill of Mitchell Pearce, who kicks that ball. He's shaping up to go to the open side on his right, pops back on the left, and while the ball's bouncing, listen,
Barry!
Yeah, I thought it from first glance. Johnny Lomax, when he gets up, there's almost the body language of a panic. Tom Johnston, for me, we'll have another look on this angle. Let's check whether he's offside, onside. He kicks it on the line. Tom Johnston is behind the line. There's a contest. I don't believe that's a shove from Tom Johnston in the back of Lomax. I think that's a fair challenge.
Jack Smith is the video ref. Is he going to overrule Chris Kendall's initial decision? Oh, my word.
Well, he believes that challenge from Tom Johnston in the back of Johnny Lomax. He did get up. He was very vociferous when he gets up, pleading. Sometimes that's guilt, and sometimes that's because you're telling the truth.
That's desperation. Wow, what a let-off that is.
But what
for St Helens.
Sorry, Bill, what it tells me is the kicking game. The short kicking game. When you get a rushing defence, it's hard to go through, it's hard to go around. But when you go behind, there could be rewards for the home team there.
Well, Mitchell Pearce was a big doubt ahead of this game because of a hamstring injury, which has been nursed through the season, really, a bit like Sam Tompkins and his knees. They've kept them together. Wormsley is on. So that is a let-off, you feel, for St Helens. The score remains 0-0.
It will give them confidence. The referee sent it up as a no try. He thought it was a push. We had a look at it. It could have gone either way, but for St Helens, big Alex Wormsley on the field now. Suddenly they'll start generating some momentum around that play of the ball, which may bring Roby into the game. Here he is, the big man.
Here is Alex Wormsley. Another player who's just come back from injury. The kick is a high one. Tompkins underneath it. Sirenen there to make the tackle.
Well, those 10,000 hours that Sam Tompkins has spent perfecting his craft would have been under the bright lights, and he dealt with that threat. And just at the bottom of your screen you saw Jack Welsby at 1,000 miles an hour. Jack Welsby, Man of Steel. Steve Prescott, Man of Steel nominee. Will we see him crowned this week? We'll wait and see.
Bousquet, as St Helens respond to Wormsley's presence by sending on there
Sam Tompkins'
gun, and Tompkins taken out late.
It's very similar to that one.
Well, Sam Tompkins, not only does he defuse bombs and he's at the back defensively, whilst in attack, yeah, Johnny Lomax, I don't know whether he's thinking, well, I've had one, somebody else can have one. That's as blatant as you like. Easy penalty, easy meters. First quarter. Well, that's in the bag now. You'd probably give it on balance and field position and territory to St Helens, but now it's their turn to absorb some pressure and deal with threats.
McAlorum. Here is Mike McMeekin, grand final try scorer when these two sides met in 2021. Catalans' only try. Mitchell Pearce. This time the quick hands do work. Finds Tom Davis. On it comes to McMeekin. Bousquet though, Bousquet static, enveloped by Saints defenders. 4 tackles gone. Back into the middle of the field once more. Here is Pearce.
Move, Curtis, don't go early.
Garcia's little kick. The ball sits up nicely for Saints, and they're able to bring it away.
No, not sure about that one, Bill. Good positioning from St Helens. And you saw the previous tackle. Mitchell Pearce get caught with it. Tyrone May, Sam Tompkins, all around that play of the ball, which meant that the captain, Garcia, had to take kicking responsibilities. And it wasn't his best.
And you can hear the Saints fans making themselves heard at Stade Gilbert Brutus. Welsby taking exception to something McAlorum did there.
As I said, he's in charge of the aggression levels, McAlorum.
Kick straight down the middle of the field is a good one, finding a bit of space. Oh, and Johnston has made a porridge of that.
He knows,
Can't believe it.
He knows he had too much time. Under no pressure whatsoever. All he has to do is pick the ball up, but what he's doing, he's thinking, where do I need to run? Who do I need to look at? What side, what position? He knows
Not got long here, boys. Not got long.
that his side now have to defend. And wisely, Sam Tompkins in his ear. Come on, we've got a job to do. Well, St Helens, who haven't been slick, and when I went back and watched those two previous encounters between these two teams, the opening quarter was very similar. No points.
Chris Kendall just calling a halt to things at the moment because somebody's...
Morgan Knowles, I think it is, by the...
Yeah. Is it?
No.
Oh, it's Mickey Mack.
Michael McAlorum.
Getting patched up.
The blood and gold of Catalan now has some real blood on it, and it won't be the last of it, Bill.
Michael McAlorum hoping to make it a 5th grand final appearance in his illustrious career. He's won 2 of them previously in his Wigan days.
Lewis, back on that left edge.
Ferocious competitor.
Right, boys, let's put down. Ready? Let's go, put down. Downside. And inside.
Steve McNamara watching up from up on high. And watching Saints with a big opportunity here. And almost making a mess of it themselves at the scrum. Went without the ball.
Well, it was an old-fashioned push at the scrum from Catalan Dragons. They almost fumbled that ball.
Mickey, you're not square. Second marker.
Every little advantage, everything you can do in a big game is worth doing.
Atawata here is Walmsley now winding up and then losing possession.
And who makes the tackle, Bill? Michael McAlorum dips underneath the ball and forces it out from the big fella. Obviously a little bit ring rusty, but a copybook tackle from Michael McAlorum. We talked before the game about the key players for the Dragons: Tompkins, Tyrone May, Mitchell Pearce, and allowing them to do their stuff. But without Michael McAlorum and the rest of the forwards, they don't get the platform to play off. Again, an atmosphere that the players will absolutely love, and as the guys in the studio talked about before the game, these are the games you remember. These are the games you want to play in. Everything to lose and everything to win.
And still we wait for the first points of the game. Catalan thought they had them, but that Tom Johnston try disallowed. That's the closest either of the sides have come to scoring.
Burns.
It's Catalan captain Ben Garcia. 3 tackles gone this set.
Morgan, get square.
And Bill, we've talked about contact and collision for the 25 minutes of this game or so. I don't think we've had a 6 again yet, have we?
We haven't.
Hold on, Steph. 4.
Whitley. He'll be bowing out from the Catalan Dragons at the end of this season as well. And he'll be playing in the colours of St Helens next season. Tompkins manages to get the kick up high. Wellesby is underneath it. Seguier misses him. McAlorum does enough. And Bousquet is there to keep Wellesby in his place.
He's a competitor, Wellesby, isn't he? Dancing feet to get away. And then the 2 front rowers, once he's there, vulnerable on the deck, they get in and do some damage.
Don't go early. Hold.
Percival plays the ball.
Mitchell!
Who's James Bell.
He's one of the real bright sparks of 2023. James Bell, an ability to play with the ball.
Time off, play the ball.
The referee's going to make the players go back and play it properly. There's a bit of a tussle and tangle, but James Bell, it's a master stroke being able to bring him off the bench at this crucial point in the game.
It's been a real success story, as making some slithers to the ground as he was cutting infield. James Bell, the Scottish international, once of Lee and Toulouse and the New Zealand Warriors. Dodds with the kick. And Sam Tompkins knew exactly where he was on the field, made that one safe.
Good work, boys. 0. Move! Back!
Tom Davis playing the ball. From the other flank, Tom Johnston.
Go on.
Dream team winger, Johnston. A bit of a nightmare a few moments ago, though, with that knock-on. I'd be glad they got away with that. Romain Navarrete, a grand final winner in his Wigan days. Oh, that looked high, it was.
Got him in.
That's the ability of Sam Tompkins. A run threat, a pass threat.
Don't react.
And St Helens, who are all flooding towards where the action is, where those Formula One race cars are out on the flanks. Once he steps back up that right foot, he catches an arm from Matautia. I'm not sure whether the first one is as bad as it looks, but that second one has a little bit of any minute.
Just wait.
He knows exactly what kind of statement he wants to make, Matautia.
Yeah, he's on the floor now.
I think he might have overstated his case. This is Chris Kendall. He's getting some input from his colleagues.
As a grab initially, he tries to make the tackle, but once Sam Tompkins is on the floor, he cops one.
James, Sione!
And I think he might find himself sat down for 10 minutes here.
James!
Chris Kendall has summoned James Roby and Sione Matautia to the headmaster's study.
The contact is simultaneous, shoulder and neck. The actions I do not like. No, listen, it's the actions. Be very, very careful when you're coming in on the floor. No, listen, be very, very careful or I'll take it further next time. It's a penalty.
Well, that goes with the game. He hasn't given many penalties away. And you can see from the crowd, they felt there was a little bit of something in it. Our pictures showed there was something in it.
Because it's not direct.
But the referee, for me, has deliberately approached this game with the ability in the players' hands,
that line, lads.
Not the whistle of the referee. Sensibly, Catalan Dragons will try and take the 2 on offer.
Adam Kieran then will try and get the first points of this game. The points machine for the Catalan Dragons this season, 68 goals to his name.
Thanks, mate. It'll be a big
the last home game, that massacre of the Leeds Rhinos, he set a new club record for points in a match. With 3 tries.
They're behind.
And 9 goals. And he's moving on at the end of this season as well, taking his talents to the Wigan Warriors. From distance, but it's not a problem for Adam Kieran. He's on target, does get the first points of the game.
Discipline's so important in a big game. We talk about discipline in regards to not giving penalties away. There's Benjamin Garcia, we're getting the word, he's getting a potential ribbon injury checked. But as well as discipline without the ball, it's discipline with the ball. Both teams haven't been great with the ball. And the first 2 points of the game have come from a needless penalty.
Back on, let's go, boys.
Makinson restarts. And here is Romain Navarrete, and wow! Sent back where he came from.
Another aggressive player, Romain Navarrete. He runs in and gets no change out of Matautia.
2, move, James, hold. Wait, James Bell. Go, 2. Play on, 2.
Still waiting then for the first try of the game.
Movement,
Julian Busquet.
Alex, hold. Oh, go free.
A sensational season.
Free.
Missed only 1 of 28 games, the big French front rower, Busquet.
Get square! Go 4. Play on. Play on, it's been picked up. Play on, 4.
McIlorum.
Surrender, 5.
He's still not blown his whistle, the referee, is it?
He was waiting and waiting, wasn't he? He was looking for some support.
He's in the way, Bill, he's got a case.
40.
He's in the way. The player has to roll away and get out of the ruck area.
1. Move, Matt! Don't go early, Romain, wait.
There's a lot going on, isn't it? You can see A lot of passion.
Some big hits going in there. That one on Makinson was a cruncher.
Go to. Bird. Move. Don't go early, Paul. Wait. Go for it.
Is that the
national anthem
French
ringing
national
around the
anthem?
ground?
My
It is
word.
that sort of night.
The French pride is at stake.
Lomax. Short pass, but Sirenham going nowhere. That's the fifth tackle.
That's the second national anthem, isn't it?
Morgan.
We have the Catalan one before the game.
Morgan!
The kick is high. Ball bounces back and into Catalan hands.
Boom.
Well, Kieran is fortunate there. The kick goes up. Catalan don't deal with it at the back. It is messy, isn't it? You can see the contest. Within the contest, he's in that play the ball. I've no doubt both coaches will want a cleaner ruck, will want a bit more speed at the play the ball, because both sets of players rely on a fast ruck.
No, is that free? James Roby, get square. 4.
4 tackles gone.
Don't go early, hold.
32 minutes gone. Just
go for.
A penalty separates these two sides at the moment. The ball is lobbed over the top and it's too high. The error count is rising.
Ridiculous, isn't it? Ridiculous.
It's a turnover.
McMeekin takes it to the defence. With deception, throws a ball back behind, and that's just loose, isn't it?
So
Mitchell Pearce. That's his job.
Stop the game for Catalans, so we'll stop the game. Is he still bleeding? We've just got a bit of blood from the Saints player.
Pretty sure Michael McAlorum
Are you good, Tommy?
is still leaking from that wound. They might choose.
Let's go, Morgan.
McAlorum's there, should I say. They might, at some point, start to introduce Artia Morg in the dying embers of this first half. A real speedy, pacey player.
Oh, go on.
Keeping watch on the sideline as Wormsley
Tyrone!
makes yards for the Saints.
You're not square!
Roby, Lomax. The pass is sticking, and then
It's good hustle from Catalan.
Percival is enveloped.
Go for it.
Here is Bell.
Came straight out for no effect.
Lomax. Percival slipping once more.
No! Don't go there. Hold. Go 5, just tackle.
5th tackle, and
I've got the ball.
Dodds
Jack!
hoists the kick. It's a good one, and Tompkins is there to claim it.
Perfect leap.
Go on.
Catch from Sam Tompkins. Catalan have done this really well. They haven't been great with the ball, but when they've had to hand the ball over, they've done it in the right way.
That ball's been spilled, unfortunately. Pearce is first to get to it.
It's gone back.
Relax, free.
Here is Tompkins. Benison standing his ground. Dodds, knowing he was on thin ice there, looked anxiously at the referee. Here's McMeekin.
Go 5.
McAlorum again.
Romain, man.
Waiting for some sympathy from the referee. Nothing coming. The kick is a good one. Bounces off the post in the end. Wellesby gathers.
When this game does loosen up, there are less bodies in around the play the ball. We'll see a little bit more open rugby league. But at the minute, it's scrappy, it's messy. I suppose it comes down to sticking to task. Kick long, chase hard and build pressure on your opponents.
Still two.
Can Catalan and Hull KR, or Hull KR, become the first new name on the trophy since Leeds in 2004? Or is it going to be another Saints triumph for a return to the winner's circle for Wigan? The next couple of nights or next couple of days hold the key to that. Wigan Hull KR to come tomorrow afternoon as Hopoate finds a bit of space. There hasn't been a lot of that in the first half here. 5 minutes of the first half to go. Lomax. The pass is a poor one, and then the referee's shrill whistle for...
10 in, Steph. 10 in. Oh.
Curtis Sirenen is notorious for making his opposition half zones. On this occasion, it's Tyrone May making their night a little bit longer by running at them, running over the top of him. A big man, a big physical presence. But he passes that ball on. I feel certain if he had his time again, he'd tuck it under his wing and make Tyrone May make a tackle. Typically what they like to do, Saints, is bring those big back rowers into the game. Sirenen, Batautia, who run at the half-backs. It's been defensively a really tough night for both sides. Nobody's imposed their will. They've had to take some, they've had to give some.
It's been a bruising first half, as that little montage from our French colleagues illustrates. Manu Mao into the action. Half-time approaching. Bousquet. No frills front rower Julian Bousquet.
James, go for a step back play on floor.
Can somebody break the deadlock in terms of try scoring? We've just got that Kieran penalty separating these two sides. Tompkins launching the kick, and Makinson solid as a rock underneath it.
Some good work from Mark Percival there. He didn't allow Tom Johnson a clear run. Phil Clark in the studio talked about the kick pressure and the kick target that Tom Johnson is for the Catalan Dragons. But great work from St Helens.
It's John Bennison, the 20-year-old wingman. And then from the other flank, the slightly more experienced 31-year-old Tommy Makinson. His 23rd playoff game. Makinson. Bell. Hit the ground. Gets to his feet a bit slowly there. Dodge kick. Into the arms of Sam Tompkins. Into the hands of Tom Johnston.
Johnny O'Neill!
Curtis Sirenen with the tackle. Bailey Sirenen, younger brother, destined for the Catalan Dragons next season as Kieran. Kieran finds a bit of space. Over the halfway line he goes. Last couple of minutes of the first half here. Tompkins comes back to the middle of the field. Looks to change direction.
Third, move!
Saints have regrouped. 3 tackles gone.
4, up in square, woo!
Takiaho returning to the field.
4.
Here is Tyrone May, lobs the ball over the top to Tom Johnston. Now Johnston, little shimmy, but there's 3 Saints defenders there. We'll have none of that nonsense, they say. Whitley.
Clear, 5. Clear, 5.
The kick from Tompkins ricochets out of play.
Making the tackle.
I think it's charged down by Dodd. Sam Tompkins feels the same, but the referee has said in trying to make the tackle, the ball has hit the man, not the other way around. But didn't Saints do well defensively there? Even though the line was broken by Adam Kieran, they kept the composure, regrouped, got back, scrambled well, and they didn't seem to have any answers, the Catalan Dragons.
Don't spoil here, lads. Don't spoil. Go on.
Final seconds then of the first half of the Gilbert Brutus and the first of the semi-finals.
Move! Don't go early, hold remain. Wait.
Samoa on the sidelines. He's leaving the Catalan Dragons at the end of this campaign as well. So a lot of players with a lot to play for, hoping that their season is going to last another week at least. But at the moment, it is very difficult to know who that is going to be. Catalan have just got their noses in front, 2-0.
Bill, Barry, thank you very much. Lewis Dodd worryingly for St Helens fans and players, clutching his right ankle as that first 40 minutes came to a conclusion. Just two between them at the Stade Gilbert Brutus. It's a sellout crowd and it's a semi-final that has delivered everything we would expect. The thoughts of Phil Clark and Jamie Jones-Buchanan after this. Just a reminder, we've got the Pacific Test Series coming up for you live on Sky Sports. All 14 games, part of our offering of over 250 live rugby league games on Sky Sports this year. It all gets underway on October 14th, grand final day over here. Will it be the Dragons at Old Trafford? Will it be St Helens returning to the place they know so well? It's the Dragons with a 2-point half-time lead at a sold-out Stade Gilbert Brutus. Yes, indeed, a record crowd for a Super League game at the Stade Gilbert Brutus. What sort of fare have they witnessed, Phil Clark and Jamie Jones-Buchanan? Tense, physical, maybe not as many scores as we had hoped for in that first half.
And all of the above. It's the semi-final. It's exactly what both coaches had predicted, a war of attrition. Both teams are trying to take the centre of the ring. St Helens are chalking up, getting really tight. They're flying off at line like they're playing a game of bulldogs, at 9 years old. And all they're bothered about is restricting Catalans' metres. Catalan have weathered it really well. I think they've had the better of the kicking game in terms of field position. That proverbial arm wrestle has changed sides in terms of the axis. It's 2-0 to Catalan at the minute. If I was to score it anecdotally, I'd probably give it 4-0 to Catalan. I think they've been slightly the better team.
That's after absorbing intense St Helens pressure for about the first 15 minutes of the game.
Well, if you think Catalan made 3 errors inside their own half in the first 22 minutes of that match, they're very lucky, and I added with some good defence, not to concede points. If you offer St Helens the chance to get there, but it was the other side, I guess, who had the first chance to score. Catalan, we talked about their ability to kick the ball and cause problems. They cause chaos when they put those attacking kicks in.
So they're under pressure by St Helens. They are awarded a penalty, force a repeat set, and in the next play then, as you say, that kicking game that you referenced pre-game led to what many may have believed would be a Tom Johnson try. Went up as no try. Your thoughts on this, Phil?
Well, the best games have controversy, and we've had some early in this game. I do think it wasn't a try. I think that Tom Johnson does push the St Helens player there in the back, and you're not allowed to do that. But there's a lot of occasions where that may have been offered up as a try. Yeah, I'm not so sure. I think it's a contact sport, and Johnny Lomax, for me, just makes this up. He should have just knocked it dead. I don't know if he's trying to let this ball roll out in the understanding that his teammates are getting a bit tired of conceding repeat sets. Tom Johnson's competing for that, and for me, I'd have sent that up as a try. He interferes clearly with how Lomax could get and address that ball, so it has to be disallowed. I don't think many people can logically argue against that.
Well, it was disallowed. It went up as no try. A video referee confirmed the on-field decision. The question as to whether the game is being refereed in a different way because it's a semi-final. I'm seeing at times a sort of refereeing that you would maybe expect in Golden Point, where the referee is maybe less keen to penalise incidents.
Absolutely. I think earlier on in the season you've seen a lot more 6-against. I actually quite like it, Brian. I think that's how semi-final football should be played. It reminds me of games 6, 7, 8 years ago. Interestingly, both these teams don't rely too much on quick play the balls anyway. St Helens are right at the bottom of the league in 12th position for play the balls, and Catalan Dragons are 8th. Winning these games are all about controlling rucks.
But we've had an inconsistent to the rest of the season where I do think an issue like that would have been sin-binned. I agree with you. I like the game to flow, but if you're going to sin-bin people all season, it shouldn't be a competition with the referees. Can we get through the lowest penalty count in the hope that I get given the whistle in the grand final? That's what it appears like to me, having watched all 150 plus games this year.
Well, it's like a medieval bull ring, isn't it? We talked about the crowd, the atmosphere, and this is what they want to see. They want to see an entertaining game. They don't want to see this from Sione Mitalia.
He's very lucky there, Matocha, isn't he? Very lucky.
I agree. He's cocked his arm, he's pulled the trigger for mine, and he's very lucky he don't make contact with side of Sam Tonkin's head.
Adam Kieran didn't hold back, scoring 2 points from a penalty kick, a decision to go for the 2 points. It is an unbelievable atmosphere. We've got Jenna Books reporting from us in the south of France. We will hear from her after this break. At the moment, it's the Catalan Dragons with a 2-0 lead over St Helens in the first of this year's semi-finals.
Thanks, Brian. Interesting to see Chris Kendall and Michael McIlaurum in conversation there, Barry, as the teams came out. I wonder what that was all about.
I think he'd be referencing that wrestle, that slowing down element of this game, and what it's lacked in quality. I think it's more than provided in intensity, hasn't it? There's all at stake, and both teams haven't quite found the rhythm, but I'm sure it'll come, and when we get one try, we'll get a few.
Well, St Helens going into this game full of confidence, a 10-game winning run behind them. They have also won their last 9 playoff matches. They've got a battle on their hands here as the second half gets underway, and Benison is immediately pounced on from the restart. And I think certainly the start of this second half is going to be much the same. It is going to be so intense, such a physical confrontation between these two big sides.
And that's what the lads in the studio talked about. The mentality of both sides would probably be different. St Helens happy that the game hasn't gone away, happy that while ever it's in this arm wrestle stage that they're capable of kicking out and kicking on. And for Catalan Dragons, under the pressure and expectation of this home crowd, will want to get that score because they want to make that scoreboard tick.
Don't go early. Go 5.
Percival brought down, 5th tackle.
40, give 10, James.
Dodds kick deep, but into the hands of Sam Tompkins, and then Tom Davis sets off.
We dropped the accelerator then, didn't he? You could see in his face and in his body language there's a little bit more speed and intent in those carries now.
Matti Kavalu with the next. Another player returning from injury.
Open square!
St Helens have done all right on that front this season. When you think that Dodd and Lomax and Wellesby have been permanent fixtures for the Saints this season, whereas Catalan have chopped and changed in various pivotal departments. And still, they managed to finish ahead of the Saints in the table. Only by point difference. And McElhorum again appealing to the referee on the last, and the kick a high one. And into the hands of Man of Steel nominee Jack Wellesby.
Go on. Manu, you're not square!
Makinson across the fields. And then Percival. Kieran making the tackle.
Just as we talked about Catalan Dragons and their back 5, you can throw the same against St Helens. Sirinen has been invited onto the ball. A bit more work rate from him, a bit more involvement from him. Targeting Pierce May.
Knowles trying to break free. Here is Alex Walmsley. Wellesby, Lomax. Percival flicks the ball out the back. Makinson has to pause to collect it and then gets away from the first challenge.
Morgan!
Lomax.
Morgan! Play on.
A big chase from Sirinen. And the intent from both sides is to knock out a few sets, settling to the long game. This semi-final playoff, 80 minutes. It could be won in the last, it could be lost in the last.
Just a penalty from the man in the tackle there. Adam Kieran is all that separates these two sides. 3 tackles gone. Is Davis. This is a bruising semi-final. And the winners of this have got to pick themselves up and prepare for more of the same at Old Trafford next Saturday.
Well, those two teams tomorrow might pick up a few bruises as well, Bill. At this time of year, you've got to put your body on the line.
There's Benison. Grand final try scorer last year against Leeds, John Benison. Apawate. And the band strikes up at Brutus.
There's a defiance in the defence of both teams. That's where this game and this battle has taken place so far. Those 50-50 calls that have gone against the home side. The Tom Johnston no try. The Matautia tackle, as we see pictures of James Roby on the sideline.
That's the 5th tackle.
Moses and Bai on the field for St Helens now.
Outside.
Dodd, another high kick. Johnston collared by Percival.
Move, Jeff!
Does well to hang on to the ball under pressure there, Tom Johnston. Here is Kieran. Oh, Morgan Knowles leading the charge there. And Saints telling Catalans, you are going to have to earn every inch of this ground.
And you can feel it in the crowd as well. There's a pensive atmosphere in the crowd too. They know whichever side sticks to it or loses faith with this phase of the game might pay a price.
Wait, Moses! Stop.
And you wonder who is going to be the first to crack. But Tompkins is allowed to get the kick away, again into the hands of Benison. Stopped in his tracks by Navarrete.
Well, which team will show the hand first? At the minute it's one out carries, percentage plays, low risk. Which team will force an offload, find an offload?
George Delaney is on the field to add some youthful exuberance to this St Helens side. Lomax trying a little step at the drop of the shoulders, but Whitley made the tackle. There's James Bell.
Held!
Dodd's kick on the last is another high one towards Davis, and Davis takes the ball. He almost got Hopewati at the same time.
Well, there was a swerve of the ball which made him reach forward, and then a clattering of Mitchell Pearce still kept his focus and concentration. But St Helens, interestingly, come away from Tom Johnson's wing for the kick and over to Tom Davis. What a year it's been for George Delaney. Lucky, in my opinion, not to be on the list for those Young Player of the Year awards.
I think if he'd got a few more games under his belt, he might well have done. There's a knock on there, I think, from Catalan.
I do know what he's saying. It is his breakout year. I don't think he's missed too many, George Delaney. And when he's played, you've certainly noticed him, but it's a long road ahead of him as a middle unit player, as they call him, a front rower. Is a mistake here. Matt Whitley loses the ball.
Where do you want the scrum, Saints?
Matt Whitley running at
Lewis.
Johnny Lomax,
Where do you want the scrum? Middle.
who absorbs that contact and almost uses the momentum that Matt Whitley has against him. And those St Helens fans, young and old, know exactly where they are in this game. It's in the balance.
They're in Perpignan.
Boys bind.
They're in this game.
Well,
Let's go.
And that's where they're at the best, coming from behind in the game. Cast your mind back to that game where Catalan beat St Helens at Saints. Saints could have won it.
Catalan error. Saints head and feed at the scrum. Big opportunity now for Saints to post points for the first time in this playoff semi-final. There is Wormsley trying to beat the first line of defence. Busquet, a kindred spirit in his way. Set restart signalled. I think the first time the hooter has sounded tonight.
And it came off the back of Alex Wormsley carry. Through contact, found his front and forced a penalty.
Delaney plays the ball. Dodds. Matauti back into the middle of the field. Spins away from the first challenge. Whitley eventually stops his progress. Go down the short side. Lomax. More good defence from the Catalan Dragons. 3 tackles gone to stop Sirenen. Is Wellsby drifting across, and then it straightens up and it opens up for Will Hopewati, and Hopewati does find a way through. In the end, it's Will Hopewati who strikes, and the previously watertight Catalan defence just dropped off there, and Hopewati spotted his opportunity and it darted through for his 4th try of the season.
They got into the defence, away from the defence, and you can see Seguier, he's following the ball carrier, just opens the door. Good width on the passes, And that's the deadlock broken, isn't it? Wicked change of direction by Will Hopoate, who glides into that hole. You can see Welsby just drags those two defenders a little bit further than what they should do. Defenders will talk about keeping those channels even, keeping the distance between everybody exactly the same. And food for thought there for St Helens. Paul Helens, Ian Talbot.
Mark Percival, who kicked 4 from 4 against Warrington last week, as the goal-kicking duties in Perpignan. After Will Hopoate, who made his farewell home appearance last week, gets the first try of the night after 50 minutes of the game. Percival, 57 goals to his name this season. And in a contest where you feel every point is going to have to be chiselled out, that is another 2 precious points.
An ugly conversion, but they all count, don't they? As we watched it from behind the sticks, as he strikes the ball, I wasn't certain, but there he is again. A drop-off play. And what he's doing, Jack Welsby, when he just glides across the defensive line, he's trying to make somebody work too hard. So as he goes from Seguieri to the next player along, Seguieri should check off, keep the spaces equal, and worry about what else is going to happen. And he doesn't, he keeps going. The channels are too far. And there you go, that's the first try of the game.
But given how tough both defences have been so far tonight, Catalan will be furious with themselves, because they made that pretty simple for Will Hopoate, didn't they?
What they'll talk about is the mistake that led to the field position.
Move, Paul!
There's been too many errors. It's safe to say defences have been on top for just less than 50 minutes. Attack-wise, quality-wise, it hasn't been there, but I think that might be a consequence of this intense defence. Great carry from St Helens.
Tautia has been in the thick of it, the Saints this evening. Here is James Bell,
who used that drop-off play with Curtis Sirinen and kept hold of the ball.
Delaney busy. Been in the side for 12 of the last 14 games, George Delaney. Given the absence of Alex Wormsley, Ignatius Passy, of course, missing his Lomax.
There you go, Sirinen on main, big man, finds an offload on a broken defensive line.
Alex!
Dodds. Kicks high, claimed by Davis, did well there.
Another difficult one to deal with for Tom Davis. Ends up on the floor. And what's the mentality of Catalan Dragons like now? They've let in a pretty simple, basic try.
Moses, not square! Moses!
They've got to respond.
Move 10 metres.
Johnston playing the ball. Saints are going to respond. That's 4 tackles gone.
Get square!
Responding defensively. Busquet.
Move! Moses, don't go early.
Just over the halfway line. 5th tackle, the ball back with Tompkins. And he kicks again towards Benison, and again Benison stands firm, gathers the ball.
That's a 5th or 6th occasion in this second half where the kick has gone to Benison. I think they'll keep with that, and what they'll do is ramp up that kick chase, and you'll find that Benison will be catching it and collecting some defenders as well. What a champion side St Helens are, being under pressure and to deal with all kinds of issues on and off the field. But as soon as they get that opportunity, as soon as they get that broken line, will they convert the chance.
Move! Kept hold. Go, 5, good 10 boys.
Wormsley.
40.
God on the last. Down the middle of the field. Tompkins nonchalantly bats the ball up. and gathers it again. Davis, though, quickly stopped in his tracks by Delaney and Matautia. Here's Johnston. How long before we see Arthur Morg out on the field for the Catalan Dragons?
There's an indicator for you. Sam Tompkins carting the ball up. When Sam Tompkins receives it from a kick return, he's never going to run it forward, so he needs a winger, and that takes two players out of that backfield division, so people have to work exceptionally hard to get behind the ball and offer themselves. Nobody was there. He took it, and Ben Garcia, having picked up a rib injury,
Can we play the ball at the side?
now feels the back of his
Play the
neck.
ball at the side. Play the ball at the side. Is that
Garcia in a bit of pain there. Referee just telling him to get on with it.
Let's go, Sam. Let's go.
It goes into contact, turns, twists, and whilst they're putting him on the floor, Matty Lee's, maybe an awkward position.
Hold.
Romain Navarrete plays the ball. Pearce manages to get the kick away before he is clattered.
That's late.
Benison once more.
That's late. Moses Mbai. It's only a fraction of a second, isn't it? But as the kick goes up,
but it's late.
he chases hard from marker the number 35.
It's dangerous.
Both feet off the ground. Mitchell Pearce, I suspect, knows it's coming, braces himself. But the upside is it's field position and possession.
Oh, sorry. Moses. Yeah, sorry, that's my bad. Yeah, time off.
Eamon O'Carroll and Steve McNamara looking on.
Eamon O'Carroll moving on as well, isn't he?
Off to the Bradford Bulls.
Bradford Bulls, yeah. It's a time of great change at the Catalan Dragons. Players coming in as well. Chris Sate joining the Dragons next season. We've mentioned Bailey Sorensen.
Mickey, let's go.
Bailey Sirenen on his way. Bailey Sirenen on his way to Catalan Dragons.
That's right.
Curtis is here, and I bet Paul is in the audience, in the crowd as well. He's over this hemisphere.
Curtis!
Been over with
He'll be having some night, because this is a really frenzied atmosphere as Catalan look to strike back. They trail 2 points to 6. McAlorum. Here's Tompkins. 3 tackles gone.
Line, George. Don't go early. Go free. Backwards.
And Megan lucky to get away with that.
Stand for. Go for.
It was Takiyahu who was lucky to get away with that. Oh, and that's another good hit. And that's great defence from the Saints. And they celebrate as well they might.
Well, that's terrific, isn't it, from the Saints? When the ball is being shifted from one end to the other, from one side to the other. We saw when the try was scored and the spaces got too wide when Paul Seguier worked too hard. You didn't see that when Saints were defending, and then the end result was that contact from the player who gave the penalty away on Mitchell Pearce.
I think he lost the ball before that collision, in fact, Julian Busquet. But they rattled a bit, Catalan.
Let's go, boys.
Well, who wouldn't be when you've got St Helens defenders launching themselves at you? They have got a title to protect. They've got a drive for 5 to keep on the road. They're on the wrong side of the road here this evening, but they seem to be doing all right so far.
Boom, bang!
They lead by 6 points to 2.
But you just know it, don't you? One of those big players will step up in a big moment and take this game for their side. More bodies in the play, the ball. Matty Lee's.
It's a mess, isn't it?
Yeah. And then Takiyahu, who's off balance, hits a roundabout or above the ball. The referee probably has found his whistle at half-time. He's blown more in this half than he did in the full 40.
Well done for getting the ball away.
Just passing the megaphone round in the crowd. There, your turn now.
Just try and get Try and get the ball up, yeah? Get Lewis, come on.
Saints happy with the penalty. Keeping control of the game as much as they can with a 6-2 lead.
Time off.
Busquets having a breather.
Wait. Okay.
And I think apart from that Tom Johnston no try, there hasn't been a threat on the Saints line, has there?
No, both teams
Move, bang up,
have done a good job at suffocating the other one.
Square. Wait, Paul, go on.
And this has been the best contest of the game in the play of the ball.
Move to you. Wait, go to.
James Bell playing the ball.
Into.
Lomax thought he'd seen an opportunity, but Pearce made the tackle. 3 tackles gone. Bell, Dodd on it. Goes to Sirenen.
Move, Tyrone!
Whitley clinging onto an ankle. Bell once more. That's the 5th tackle.
Patient, isn't it, from St Helens?
It is
Very patient.
very methodical. Wellsby on Lomax puts it down, and that's
too far behind him, Bill. He's obviously thinking about the line that he's running, the distribution he's got once he's caught that ball, and the passes behind him.
I'd love to know what the error count is, Barry. We don't have access to our normal range of statistics.
Too
on
many.
A night like this, but for both camps, way too high.
Too many. For St Helens, there's another 6 again. I think that might be the second. For St Helens, we're starting to talk about Wellsby, Lomax, a little bit of Dodd. They're starting to impose themselves on this game.
Movement! Quicken them rooks, George. Wait.
At the hour mark, still anybody's game. Saints narrowly in front. McMeekin. More good defence. 6 again. Takiyaho.
Movement! George, you've got to be quicker in the rook.
And again, Saints pushing their luck for all they're worth. Down the short side they go. Catalan crowd appealing for everything. This time it was a high shot on their man Whitley. McIlorum, Tyrone May, but May realising the options are narrowing for him. Changes direction. Here's Takiyaho once more. 3 tackles gone.
They've got to go back to those kicks, Catalan, short kicks.
Well, that's where the boot of Pearce comes in, or is it May? It's May who puts the little kick in. Nobody chasing, and Wellsby, if he can get out of this, he can't, but he had a very good try.
There you go, short kicks with a rushing defence. That's where all the space is. And Jack Wellsby almost got out of trouble. But as the old saying goes, a kick is only as good as its chase. And on that occasion, the Catalan Dragons players responded and respected that kick. Wellsby sums it up perfectly, evades Sam Tompkins, but not Whitley and Johnston.
Jack Wellsby, as I mentioned earlier on, Dream Team fullback, 3 years in a row.
Do you know, that's dreadful, that in a game of this magnitude, to allow that ball to bounce, you've lost all advantage. 3 players all looking at each other.
Got possession. Here is Takiyaho now. Yeah, Wellsby, 3 years in a row in the Dream Team in 3 different positions. He's that sort of player. Here is Ben Garcia playing on despite, so we suspect a rib injury.
Talk about Wellsby, as have Ben French. He's 3 positions too. Good battle going out with them too.
May, the ball is a bad one and it goes behind Johnston, and Johnston has to retrieve it, and now he'll try and find a way through.
And there's the 3rd nominee for the Steve Prescott Man.
That's a high shot, Barry, sorry, that's a high shot on Tom Johnston.
And I feel that could be good for the Catalan Dragons. Cutting the ball back inside, much like St Helens are doing. Finding bigger players, finding players who are under fatigue. Use that footwork. We know playoff games are tight.
High tackle.
Now there's a discussion, what did they do?
What are we doing, boys?
Still deciding.
Whoa.
Yeah, listen, I do the same. There's plenty of time. 16 plus minutes.
Nah, look one, thank you.
Take the 2, go back, refocus. Let's get some communication.
Old stagers, Michael Oram and Tompkins discussing the situation. Well, you'd imagine Kieran
I'll give you time.
will land his 70th goal of the season with this one to narrow the gap. And then set us up for a real nerve-jangling final 15 minutes. No mistake from Adam Kieran.
It just ekes them a little bit closer. Only 2 points difference on the scoreboard. Takes some impetus and momentum away from their opposition. It allows them to reset and start again.
2 penalties from Adam Kieran. A Will Hopoate try converted by Mark Percival. It is the Catalan Dragons 4, St Helens 6. And a game that has been as tight as a drum from the word go. We were thinking there might be a bit of freedom, it might loosen up as the second half has gone on. Doesn't look like much sign of it, Barry.
Not so far. It's been really tight, really tense. With everything at stake, you've got 2 quality teams. Saints on a drive for 5, and then Catalan Dragons with 8 players leaving. They could have a historic end to the season if they get through to the grand final and win, but still in the balance.
Open square! Get square!
Good defensive work
not square!
from the Saints.
Mate! Good now, you're good now.
Garcia.
What a competitor he is.
The captain's leading from the front. He's lost that ball. He is furious. Getting no sympathy from Chris Kendall.
Yeah. See, for me, it's the defender's job to put him down. If they don't put him down, they should get away.
Come out. Time up. Stay in that formation. You can come up, but stay in that formation.
I think he's unlucky.
I think he should have kept hold of the ball.
I think he's unlucky. He's being manhandled in an attempt when he's attempting to play his ball.
Well, they'll be very cross. Very, very cross. Will the Catalan Dragons, if St Helens capitalise on that by putting more points on the board. 2 tackles gone as Knowles plays the ball. Matty Lees back towards the middle of the field. Dodd signalling his intentions at the bottom of the screen here. Moses Mbai. Here is Dodd. Dodd back towards Wellesby, and Wellesby trying to weave his way through away from the first and the second. Then loses his footing.
Hold. Go.
Good defence from the Catalan Dragons, up quickly there.
Both sides with so many different points of attack. The hardest job is the bloke that's passing the ball, deciding who has it.
Lomax down the short side, little chip kick over the top. Johnston claims it, did well there, Tom Johnston.
Both sides are using that short side. If they think they have numbers, they're going there. Big challenge. Now it So as that carry goes in, bodies flying everywhere. Ultimately, there's a high tackle at the back end of it.
Chris Kendall indicating that there was pressure on the back of Kieran's head.
A little bit of everything. It's a little bit high, a little bit of pressure on the back of the head, and then lying down and slowing the ball down.
Very animated Sam Tompkins, illustrating what he thought was going on.
Ben.
And the captain's been called over by Chris Kendall.
Well, a look at the replay. He sort of reverses into it.
Sure.
You can see that as he spins, he catches one off Morgan, which spins him around. So the ricochet, the second collision.
Chris Kendall's done well to keep a lid on this game because it's been a ferocious contest and there have been one or two moments.
It has, Bill, but I tell you what, I don't know whether it's me. It feels like he's refereed it differently in the first half. He's come out in the second half. There's been more whistle. There's been more talking to players. He allowed it to breathe, allowed it to flow in the first half. I don't mind that in a big game, but it's hard enough to win the game, but two different ways of refereeing.
There's McMeekin. Still time for this one to be resolved either way. At the moment, it is St Helens who are heading back to Old Trafford. But they are by no means home and dry. Takiaho plays the ball. Here is Tyrone May.
Good tackle.
Making some very quickly up on Tompkins.
Don't they do that well? They'll leave a player on the edge knowing that they're quick enough, good enough to snatch that player.
Whitley, that's the fifth tackle.
Hold here.
Tompkins. Wellesby.
Michael McAlorum. When the ball goes up, there's only one player making that tackle, and he's good enough to make it one-on-one. That's a skill in itself.
It has been a claustrophobic contest. They have smothered each other defensively, these two sides. Here's Hopewati, scorer of the only try of the game. Wellesby looking for a bit of space, a bit of fresh air on that pitch. On the last as Dodds puts the kick in, but it's straight into the arms of Tom Davis. And Davis launches a Catalan counter.
There's a lot of acceleration when Tom Davis gets that ball. He's not necessarily looking for a space or a gap. And he comes away limping from that challenge. Saints kick to Tom Davis. I think it's a better start to the set for Catalan.
Here's Tom Johnston. They will not allow him any room to manoeuvre. Four tackles gone as Takiaho plays the ball. McAlorum. Here is Tyrone May. This time Kieran gets away from the first challenge of Makinson, but support is there from Lomax. Pearce. Pearce hoists the kick again. This time it's batted down, it's knocked on. It's Catalan's ball. Here is Tom Johnston.
This is the chance for the Dragons now.
This is the chance. The knock-on from the Saints. Knowles trying as hard as he can to stay tangled up there.
He knows exactly.
And he's going to his pockets.
He knows exactly what he's doing. He's trying to buy a bit of time for his side.
Look at Tommy Makinson appealing to the referee. No.
Well, the tactic of kick high and challenge from the Catalan Dragons, eventually they pat that ball back.
Explain it to you. No.
And it's Matty Lees who's sent to the sin bin. They are all over Tom Johnson, and he can't have any complaints, really. Matty Lees is trapping the leg of Morgan Knowles.
It could be any one of the three, couldn't it?
As I said, they know what they're doing. They're trying to buy a bit of time to allow the defence to get back, get set, in order for them to get up and get off that line.
What do they do here? I mean, do they go for two?
I just feel like you're trying to kill the game.
It's a good question, Bill.
Level the
Golden
scores.
point. It looks like they are. They haven't broken the line all night, so why not take the two? It's conceivable that they could win the game on goal kicks and a drop goal. It's like watching rugby union.
And that is what they've chosen to do. No pressure, Adam Kieran.
I get that, Tommy. Sorry, Jack.
This to level the scores. Whoa.
It's been that kind of game, hasn't it?
Will they stay behind?
There's been a cigarette paper between both teams at their best and both teams at their worst. How costly could that be from Matty Lees?
Stay behind. Cheers, Jack.
And they've got the remainder of the game to defend Catalan Dragons with 12 men.
Kieran. 2 from 2 for him tonight, but they were fairly straightforward. First one from distance. Composes himself. And makes no mistake.
We're in drop goal territory, lads.
Well, I was nervous before the game. I felt the nerves for the players. And this game is going right down to the wire, 6-6.
Come on,
with
lads,
nothing
come on,
in it.
lads. Time off, we don't lose anything by you coming up.
Who's going to go? Who's going to be the first to go for the 1 point?
Okay, Tommy. Onside.
Lewis Dodd, who started the season with his
You just took the words out of my mouth.
Good. World Club Challenge drop goal.
I was just going through the team thinking which player on the respective sides. Obviously, Lewis Dodd proved on the biggest stage over in Penrith. And who bet against Sam Tompkins slotting one over?
I don't think they've landed a drop goal this season, have they, Catalans?
Move now!
They've got enough players that can do it.
Go 3 steps to the side, Marcus, and go 3.
They've got to get into position first to do that. Saints up against it. Matty Lees, the player, sin-binned in the end. Here is Takiyaho.
5. Move, Moses!
Grand final experience in the shape of Sia Takiyaho.
4, take us 10, mate.
Twice a winner. Kick is deep. It's again into the hands of Benison, who has not put a foot wrong.
The chase is good, the kick is good. St Helens now, the challenge is get back behind the ball, offer yourself as an option. There is no tomorrow in this game.
Sorry, not there. Wait, go to. That's line spin.
This is it. This is the season for these two sides. For one, there's another week to go. For the losers, it's the end of the campaign, and Saints have come up with the error. Makinson losing possession.
Wow. Tommy Makinson with players all around him somehow loses possession of this ball.
Fair and square, he lost it.
He hasn't got it tucked in to his body, hasn't got it secure and tight to his chest. So whilst in the action of putting the player down on the floor, he loses possession and picks up a little nick in the corner of his eye.
Let's go, Sam. Not got long in
Drop goal, do you reckon, Bill?
It's coming. But who is it coming from?
Head in, head in. Okay,
It can only be one player.
Out!
Surely.
Thanks, mate.
Here is Kieran.
Move, Tommy! Hold. Go on. He was square, he's fine. 1.
Saints' minds will be going back to 2017, the semi-final at Castleford when they lost in Golden Point, extra time.
Here, hold.
We haven't got to extra time yet, but they are under pressure here. 3 tackles gone as Takiaho takes them a couple of metres further forward. Here is Tyrone May now, back to the middle of the field. May weaving, gets the pass away. 4 gone. The ball comes back to Tompkins, and Tompkins stepping. Tompkins puts a little kick in. Johnston is chasing, and Saints make it safe. It was Kieran who almost got there.
Good work from St Helens. Didn't allow Sam Tompkins the space and time to get the drop goal in. But the reactions from him, steps off the right foot, sees the space, places it through. And what commitment from Tommy Makinson.
It was Lomax who was so quick off the mark to close down Sam Tompkins there, but
because I've checked it.
Catalan will come again.
Just whenever you're ready, mate. Okay. Time back on.
Time back on, says Chris Kendall. And the crowd urging Takiaho forward. And surely Catalan are just going to barge it straight up the middle. Work their way closer and closer. Here is McMeekin.
That was off the ground.
2 tackles gone.
Hold. Go. Quick in the run. 2.
Here is Garcia, the Catalan Dragons captain. That's the 3rd tackle.
It's got to be now.
They're going to go for it early. They're certainly within range. McIlorum looks. McIlorum back to Tompkins. Tompkins scuffs it. And the ball
Play on.
doesn't even reach the posts.
Great work from Saints again. Bodies in the way.
Oh, go on.
And then St Helens on their own goal line, first to the bouncing ball. I said it was going to be nerve jangling, didn't I?
Hold.
Nerve shredding, nail biting. Well, it's been like that for 80 minutes.
Percival. Whitley was quickly up on him. Tyrone May there as well. He's lost the ball. He's lost the ball. Percival knocks it on.
He uses the floor to regather the ball. Let's go.
Holy moly.
This
Uses
is
the ball.
just...
Uses the ground. Yeah, I will do.
Whoa.
Well, this is the 3rd time Sam Tompkins
Johnny, stay on side.
or
Stay on side.
somebody else. They'd be wise now to put Sam Tompkins somewhere as a decoy and use somebody else. Have St Helens got enough to get bodies in front again and force it into Golden Point?
2 minutes.
Out.
2 minutes to decide this. 2 minutes to decide who's going to go to Old Trafford before we go to Golden Point extra time. Seguier. 10 metres out. McIlorum looks.
Go early. Go to.
McIlorum. Here's Garcia now. McMeekin moving into position. Takiaho there as well. Remember, Saints down to 12 men. The ball is back with Tompkins again, and again the pressure is good, but Tompkins is running it. Tompkins! Tompkins! Sam Tompkins has taken the Catalan Dragons to Old Trafford, surely. They thought he was going to go for the drop goal. They denied him that, but they couldn't deny him the try that surely settles this game. Kick to come from bang in front of the post. Extraordinary, absolutely extraordinaire.
Incredible, isn't it? Sam Tompkins with 5 or 6 players rushing towards him, as they did on the previous occasion. Steps off the right foot, evades Alex Walmsley. Sirenen can't get a glove on him. And look at that. Occasions like this are made for players like Sam Tompkins. He writes his own scripts. What a difference he's made since he joined this Catalan club. They are creditable opponents now, wherever they go. You can't throw and accuse players going to Catalan Dragons for a pension, for a life in the south of France, living on the beach. That man and his counterparts are going to Old Trafford.
3 times a grand final winner, Sam Tompkins, in his 21st playoff game. What drama starred Gilbert Brutus, and the defending champions will finally relinquish their grip on the trophy. Saints reigning champions for 1,455 days, no longer, because the Catalan Dragons have won this semi-final in the most dramatic of fashion. Sam Tompkins will not be hanging up his boots just yet. He has another week of his career to go. And the Saints, well, they bow out with their heads held high after a ferocious contest.
Just a breathtaking finish. St Helens gave absolutely everything, just didn't have enough in the end, and it was all about moments. Moments missed and moments taken. The platform and the stage belongs to Catalan Dragons. What a wonderful game of rugby league we've witnessed. Wasn't the best, wasn't always beautiful.
The irony is that before the game, when Jenna spoke to that man, James Roby and Sam Tompkins, they were each paying tribute to each other, and James Roby said that Tompkins has the ability to change the course of a game. He has done just that in the final seconds of a game. Roby bows out after his illustrious career, and it's Catalan who are celebrating. It's Catalan who are going to Old Trafford.
Bill and Barry, thank you very much. An unforgettable night in the south of France. A sold-out stade. Gilbert Brutus has just witnessed, well, an attritional semi-final is perhaps the best way you could describe it, and they have also been witness to the final game in his rugby league career for James Roby. Sam Tompkins has one more that will be at Old Trafford next Saturday, October the 14th. The curtain comes down on Roby's 20-year career with St Helens, and St Helens' 4-year reign as Super League champions has also come to a conclusion. Phil Clark, Jamie Jones-Buchanan, so many stories leading into this game. We have a little bit more clarity after the final whistle. Your immediate thoughts?